Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. And we have a bunch of topics to discuss in today's video, as always, but primarily, we're going to focus on solo power farming, as though I have discussed this several times in previous videos, I think something is being missed, as though I felt as though I'd covered this topic in its entirety, and the best ways in order for solo players to do so. I see a lot of comments, and it seems like something is being lost in the translation. So we're going to cover it again, and I'm going to give you a bit more of a walkthrough than maybe I have previously, and tell you a few extra things that maybe you haven't been focusing on. We'll also cover some glitches in this regard, which I think will come in very, very helpful, and stuff that I know nobody is doing, as I don't really see a lot of response or videos regarding it. We're also going to cover this week's weekly reset. And I have to say, personally, I am regretting spending a little too much Bright Dust last week, as there are some amazing new exotics available and some stuff that hasn't been around for quite some time. So if you enjoy this information, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things I just mentioned will also enter you into any future giveaways on this channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. When we reach 100,000 subscribers on the channel, we'll be giving away a new console or video card if you play on PC. You can also stick around till the end of the video for the secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Remember, those stack between all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course do it again. You can always leave a hashtag Archie or a hashtag Good Boy Protocol. I've been seeing a lot of those, and I do enjoy them. You can also let me know down below if you think we should be able to take Archie for a walk in the tower. I think we should, for sure. Give a like for Archie, if for nothing else. 70% of those who watch my channel are still not subscribed, so if you would like to support the channel, subscribing is free and is the easiest way to do so. If you've made a donation to the channel or become a channel member, thank you all so much. You can also stick around till the end of the video for a shout out from me. And if I missed your name today, I deeply apologize, and you will be included in a future video. But before we get to solo power farming, I just wanted to quickly show a couple of things from Banshee 44 for this week, as we have a whole bunch of enhanceable weapons. Most notably, we have the Perfect Paradox, which I can't remember the last time this weapon was sold, but certainly an interesting shotgun. Used to be very meta, I think possibly in D1. We also had the Live Fire, which is a Stasis Scout Rifle. Will do you well at the moment. This one comes with Rampage, which is a great perk, as well as Heating Up. Range Masterwork can be fully enhanced, so Enhanced Rampage with Stasis, I think, will pair very well with some of the current meta builds. We also had a Whispering Slab that can be fully enhanced. Nothing else really to write home about, but just keep those in mind if you're a new or returning player. For Focus Decoding this week, we have, or excuse me, for today, we have the Tex Mechanica weapons, as well as the Field Forge weapons. Remember, these can all be enhanceable. The Heliocentric has always been a favorite. We also have the Battle Scar, which can roll with Kinetic Tremors, one of the best kinetic perks, if not the best kinetic perk in the game. Also in today, I want to talk a little bit about lore towards the end of the video, and just quickly over at the Crucible. And this is not anything in regards to loot necessarily, though you might be on the lookout for a 180 hand cannon, as if you have a 180 hand cannon with enhanced precision instrument and you have 160 weapons damage, as you can see I have 155 on my person, you can now 3-tap with a 180 hand cannon in PvP. So anything with precision instrument on it and is 180 is definitely a god roll. Now I'm curious Is there a 180 hand cannon just available from the focus decoding page? Is this one? This is a 180. Okay. Now, the Survivor's Epitaph, I'm not totally sure if it can roll with Precision Instrument, but even without Precision Instrument, I think at 160 weapons damage, you will still be able to, majority of the time, 3-tap. Be on the lookout for anything with Precision Instrument. We got Sejon, and we had Lord Sin joining in the tower today. The load times in the game were getting a little too dangerous when it came to loading in with a group. Let me know in the comments section down below if you have this problem. You can also leave a comment down below about anything I might mispronounce, as always. Remember, if you are farming out power this week, wait until the end of the week to pick up your weekly Vanguard Arms rewards. These will give you a pretty big power bump. Also, towards the end of the video, I wanted to discuss a little bit of lore stuff, so stick around for that. Over at Tess Everis this week, and as I said, we have some great stuff available. We have the Micro Mini Vehicle, and it's been a long time since this was sold last, and I really have to make sure that I pick this up this time because I always end up missing it. And as you can see, I am a little short on Bright Dust because earlier this week, if you haven't noticed the attire I'm wearing, I actually went and picked up some of these now free Solstice armor sets. You can either buy them for 1500 Bright Dust, or 1500 Glimmer, or 6000 Bright Dust. So if you have 6000 Bright Dust, you can buy any one of these, and they combo amazingly together. I picked up this one and this one. And I have sort of a combo on my person at the moment. I think I look pretty cool. Also, down for the main Bright Dust page, we had the Splendid Vidua. I'm not totally sure how you pronounce that. You can let me know in the comments section down below. But this is for the Wither Horde, which I haven't thought about in a little while since we have aerial denial grenade launchers now, but still an interesting one. We had the Quad Cycle vehicle, which essentially is a Mario Kart vehicle. And don't you think we should have Sparrow Racing League back now that we have things like this? I mean, we could basically have Mario Kart as a mini game inside of Destiny. I know that Destiny Rising is going to have Sparrow Racing, so, you know, when something's doing something right, other games should follow, especially when those games invented it. You can let me know in the comment section down below if you agree. We need Sparrow Racing League back. And we have the Scout Zeppelin ship, which I don't think I've ever seen before. This is a super cool one. Man, I want all of this stuff. We also have the Sweet Sprinkles shell, which is just great. I mean, how can you not love any of these cosmetics? Really good week for cosmetics and ornaments. But now let's get past all that and let's talk about power farming, which is, I'm sure, what everybody is here for. So I apologize if you've been waiting to listen to this, but we did need to do a little bit of recap on just some stuff that updated this week, as I thought it was just too good to miss. But obviously we have the Solstice of Heroes still going on for this next week, and with it is the best way not only to farm high tier armor and weapons, but also power. Now, the power farm is kind of the same anyway, but while we have Solstice going on, not only are you going to be able to farm power, but you're essentially going to be able to farm stats as well as high tier armor, because as you get higher tier armor, you can get higher tier stats. And if you can get a tier 5 piece of armor, then you're going to have, you know, the highest stats possible. And like I said, you can see the benefits of 160 weapons being able to make a 180 3-tap. So you want to get as much of this stuff as possible. Remember, you can claim all of these, and power is on your entire account. So your power on one character is account wide. So if you claim anything, once you've reached a certain power on one character, you can claim it on the other characters. So you could actually claim all of these on your second character, and they will drop at the highest character's power. So if I went and claimed these on my second character, they would be, I think I'm currently, let me just check, at 398 power. Now, another thing, which I've talked about, is of course over in your Collections tab, under Flare, under Miscellaneous, you will see the old masks. Now, if you have any of these old masks, these will also be able to be collected at your current highest average power. Now, you can infuse them, but like I've said previously, you can take these out and help you mid-max. Now, here's the other thing. If you haven't leveled up a second character, these will also be able to be taken out of your collections at the highest character's power. So if I jump over to my Titan right now, or my Hunter, which I have not played yet, they are still at like 10 power, I will be able to take these out of the collections at 398 power and put it on my Titan. And if you need proof, I'll show you towards the end of the video. But trust me, any of this stuff, it makes leveling your second character really easily. Also, you could transfer over all your weapons. So if you just go to Solstice right now, collect those pieces of armor, pull one of these out of your collections, and then maybe transfer over your weapons from your main character, you will essentially be at your power cap on your main character or on your account almost instantly. So just make sure you do that if you're looking to level up second characters. But now, let's talk about just leveling period up to 450. Now, for solo players, and for anybody really, I see a lot of confusion when talking about how to equip modifiers to any of the activities. But the fastest way currently is still to do solo ops, or to do, if you have a good fire team, you know, something you're very comfortable with, maybe Devil's Lair or something like that. But you want to focus on anything that has the distorted Solstice engrams listed. That's because that's going to get you the higher tier armor, higher tier stats, and you will also be receiving power. Now, I don't think this is new to anybody, so this is not the information necessarily. But this is where I see a lot of the confusion. Let's say I was going to play, you know, today's solo activity. Now, obviously, I can't because I have my buddy C-John with me. You can leave a hashtag C-John and a hashtag Sinister in the comments section down below, as well as a hashtag Archie, as I said before. But this is where it gets confusing. So, as you can see, when I select it, there will be a default setting. Now, this is the game defaulting to what it thinks, based on what my current power is, I should want to do. Well, the game is wrong. The game is lying to you. Don't listen to the game. Don't ever do what it defaults to. As you can see here, it says my combatant power, that is the combatants that I will be facing if I run this solo, will be 400. Now that sounds reasonable enough since I'm at, you know, 398, so I should be able to do away with them pretty easily. It also equips a whole bunch of modifiers that it thinks I would probably want. Again, all of this is garbage. You don't want to do anything this game tells you to do because it is lying to you. And it's actually so much easier than this. Because what it's making you think is that at 400, well, facing 400 combatant power, you're only going to get a B tier reward. So, I got to equip more mods to get up to A tier. No. No. None of this is what you want to do. What you want to do is this. Exactly this. First of all, forget Grandmaster. If you're at 400 or around there, I'm sure most people are in the, 350 to 400 range, or 300 trying to get to 400. But even if you're at 400 going to 450, all you want to focus on is doing the easiest possible activity. So you want combatant power to be as low as possible while still maintaining an A tier reward. Now I'm going to show you how I'm doing that at 390. You can extrapolate it into what you would need to do if you were above 400. So this will be the same thing once you're above 400 and Grandmaster becomes an easier activity. But right now, Grandmaster is not really that easy for me. Master is much easier. And this is why. Because if I go to 300, okay, even if I equip every single modifier I need to get to an A tier. So let's just go with the most difficult ones. So we're going to go to the first one. We're going to do this. It's going to bump that up quite a bit. We're going to select Battlefield Promotion, a 20. We're going to select Void Threat, a 20. We're going to select Counterfeit because it's easy. And we'll put on the invisible enemies. Okay. So now we are at almost as high as we can get. Then we'll go over here. We'll go no ammo. Lock that out. The other thing you want to make sure you have on is the fired up modifier. Always have the fired up modifier on. It is pretty bugged out and you will get infinite heavy ammo so long as you have a solar primary, a solar heavy, and any ability that can do solar damage. Now, as you can see, we're at B, so maybe I got to bump this up a little bit higher. What else can I do? Let's throw on this. Let's throw on... Can I throw on anything else? Let's throw on that. We might have to remove this, for example. Actually, that's giving a bump. Let's keep this on. So now, as you can see, I am only at a B tier. Now, this is somewhat confusing because I should be at an A tier. The reason is because I am in a group. So I'm going to leave my fire team, because that is disrupting even the solo ops playlist. Another lie. So this is the kind of thing that can really, I think, screw players up. Is being in a fire team also changes the solo ops combatant power. So now let's go back into the portal once again. Going to select fire team ops, solo ops, excuse me. We'll go to customization, and we are going to go to master. Now the reason is because even if I load up, as you can see now I have the proper score. Master with every single difficulty mod on, if it gets you to a B plus or an A tier, is still going to be vastly easier than doing a Grandmaster with no modifiers on, and even all the great modifiers for you, because that's going to lower your overall score. Now as you can see here, I will get an A tier reward, which will be the same as a Grandmaster A tier reward, but the combatant power that I'm going to be facing is 370, and that is with everything equipped. And I don't even have the last one, the Rage from Font Slitting. I don't even have this Bane on. If I equip this Bane, it's an easy A. But as you can see, my combatant power is still lower. So I could probably take off one of these. Let's take this one off. Still a high B. Now the other thing is, this week we are also getting the Accelerator Score Multiplier. This is about a 5% bonus. So, as I've talked about many times, you really only need to get a very high tier B+, do whatever the actual mission will require you. There should be a objective, in the mission that will actually give you a bonus to your score. But if I were to go to Grandmaster, again, let's say take off all of these modifiers. Just for an example's sake. You can see I'm actually lower than I was at the Master level. And I'm still facing combatant power of 400. So that's the difference between 370 combatant power and 400 combatant power for the exact same score and the exact same reward. This is how you should be doing this every single time. Always trying to get the max score possible while facing the lowest power combatants. And that is how you farm fast. That is the fastest way to farm in this game, and throw on the fired up modifier to glitch it out and get heavy ammo all the time. That's how you do it. And also, don't look at any of this with a teammate. Look at it by yourself. Because if you look at it with a teammate, that changes everything, as you saw. It can screw you right up. It's one of the things that I think is an oversight in terms of how to do this. So, it confuses people. Everybody gets confused. Hopefully, I haven't confused you more today. The last thing that I wanted to discuss in today's video is over in our old world tab, which is finally back to its original color again, over in the EDZ, down at the original vendor, Devrim K. Now, apparently, in Ash and Iron, we will be returning to the Plaguelands. Now, the Plaguelands were the source for Siva. So maybe you don't remember that in D1, but it was certainly a time, and there are some rumors that maybe Siva will be returning. Some people thought it was retconned. But a hint to this is down at Devrim K, there are, at the moment, more rewards than there ever was as far as his weekly loot and update. There hasn't been anything here in years, but now there are a few emblems available, and apparently there's going to be some more stuff. So, curious to see what you think of this, if you think Siva returning is an interesting plot element. There might be some pre-Ash and Iron stuff where we're going to have to unlock the Plaguelands, but as you notice, this stuff was never really here until recently. So, just something to note. And just a little thing that I wanted to add in for today's video. But that is going to conclude all the information today. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Sorry if it rambled on a little too long. And if it's still confusing, please let me know in the comments section down below. But remember, for power farming, use Fired Up. It's bugged out. And use the modifiers that get you to an A tier at the lowest level possible while facing the lowest combatant power possible, while still maintaining an A tier reward. Do the objective in the mission, and you're off and running. This will work all the way to the power cap. If you've watched till this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Edge of Fate or a hashtag Solstice of Heroes in the comment section down below. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Thanks so much for watching, as always. And of course, we will see you next time.